Alan.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Boleh dengar?
Okay.
Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. Ladies and gentlemen, let us open our program today by reciting Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. Welcome to the opening of our webinar program on awareness of the issue in Palestine entitled Oppression of the Palestinians. I would like to invite the program advisor, Associate Professor Dr. Zaliha Kasim for the opening remarks. Please, Doctor.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Okay, just to say thank you very much, especially to the our panelists. We brought panelists from outside. They are very important people in this issue, and we hopefully we can share a lot and we can learn a lot from them. This is our first attempt to attract public to our activities in TC IIUM Kuantan. So the boss will talk more later. I'm also very grateful to all the participants that can be here today, this morning. This is an important issue, but of course we have other issues as well. But we need people like you and like our panels to share their views and their insight and observation on what happened in Palestine today, so that we can also get prepared. Maybe one day we experience this kind of oppression as well. Hopefully it won't happen to us, inshallah. So thank you very much to Brother Azlan, the MC today, and also the Deputy Campus Director to make this activity proceed this morning. Thank you very much and enjoy our program today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Zaliha, for the lovely opening remarks. Next, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Samsud Rahman, Deputy Campus Director, Academic Support Services, IIUM Kuantan, to deliver his welcoming remarks. Please, Prof.
Okay. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Boleh dengar ke? Takut ada technical issue.
Boleh.
Boleh ya? Okay, Alhamdulillah. Thank you to our MC, Brother Azlan. Datin Sri Prof. Dr. Zaliha for her hardworking effort to make this forum in reality. Our favorite moderator, Prof. Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim. Our panelists, Alhamdulillah, thank you very much for coming. Prof. Dr. Kamruzaman Yusof from UTM, Prof. Dr. Amir Rashid Yatibam from UUM, Prof. Dr. Ibrahim Adam from Sudan. Masya Allah, hebat, from far away ni. So thank you to all the panelists for giving your precious time to us to discuss about very important issue about Palestine. Palestine actually basically is a long issue. This is not new. This is very long issue. If you read from the history from World War I, World War II, for every world war, the implication, the consequence normally to Islam. Maybe kalau we check from First World War, the history, if we can identify, the culprit was the Yahudi, Jews. But the consequence to Islam, to government of Islam, the Uthmaniyah government was collapsed after the First World War. And then the Second World War in 1945, the consequence also to Islam, the Israel oppress and invade Palestine. This is the first step it happened after the Second World War. Now, what we are concerned about the Third World War. If this going to be happen, this is another big issue. Maybe our panelists can discuss on this matter as well. So basically, this online forum is a platform to highlight and understand more on the current situation in Palestine in terms of life and mental health. It's also a form of spiritual support to the people of Palestine. And so far, and even until today, we have been witnessing the worst oppression of the Palestinian people in Gaza, Jerusalem, and West Bank. And we are really disappointed with the large number of civilian deaths and injury, particularly children, as a result of this oppression. So as a Muslim, our faith teaches us to promote peace wherever needed, and therefore we are against this war against people of Palestine. So it is very important for us to support them, not just spiritual, but also the necessity, the donation, idea, whatsoever. And we hope with this experience shared by the speaker, our renowned and experienced speaker, that one will give us good understanding about the current situation there. Maybe one day we will join the Al-Qassam Brigade, inshallah. So I don't want to give long lecture because the most important is the forum. In conclusion, this cycle of violence that we have seen all too long, this need to be changed and to be replaced with better situation. And we hope this will be replaced with peace and freedom for the people of Palestine. So we hope all of you can give your full attention to this program, and again, wishing you the best in participating in this program. So thank you very much. So over to you, MC.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Samsul Jamal, for the wonderful welcoming remarks. Without further ado, I would like to invite our moderator, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim, to lead the session. Please, Doctor.
Unmute, Doctor.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you hear me?
Okay. Good. Clear.
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Thank you very much, Brother Azlan, for the coordinating the program and also our MC for today. And then I would like to express also a special thank to the Academic Support Service Department under the Deputy Campus Directors, Professor Samsul, and then also from the INHAD, from the Halal Institutes, Prof. Zaleha, and then also all the forumers, our forumers today, the respected forumers today, and then also for all the listeners. And then even though you are not physically in a situation whereby we are not in a Palestine, but we are similar as a one body, inshallah. So before we start, I would like also to introduce a little bit about our panelists today. We have the first panelist with us is the most renowned scholars, Islamic scholars in Kuantan campus, IUM Kuantan campus, which is Dr. Associate Professor Dr. Ibrahim Shoga. With us, he is our Sifu. He is our Murabbi in Kuantan campus, teaching us on the Islamic philosophy of science, and then also about the ethics, research, ethical research. And then also Dr. Ibrahim Shoga also quite involved in the Forum of Religio-Scientific Discourse, what we call it is FOSAT, coordinated under the Kuliah of Science. And then second speakers, we have also very renowned speakers, Professor Dr. Kamruzaman Yusof is a professor of modern Middle Eastern Studies at the Faculty of Islamic Civilization, UTM, and then also he was a former dean of the Faculty of Islamic Civilizations. So welcome, Prof. Kamruzaman, and also welcome Dr. Ibrahim Shoga, and then my good friends, Dr. Associate Professor Dr. Aminur Rashid Yatiban. Is a director for the Institute, Dr. Amina, Islamic Studies, Islamic Jerusalem Studies. ISRA, is it?
Yeah.
And then Dr. Amin also have a vast experience in studying about the Islamic Jerusalems, and then also talking on the Palestine issues, inshallah. So with us today, I think all the speakers should be able to discuss the things that we're going to discuss today with regard to what happened at the Palestine right now. So before we begin, so this is the formats of our forum today. We're going to have 2 rounds of the forums, and then the speakers will conclude, and then we will open the session to the questions. Why is that happen, Dr. Ibrahim Shoga? Everyone can hear me.
On and off,
Everyone can hear me. Please increase your volume. Increase your speaker volume, inshallah.
Okay. Sound clear.
Dr. Ibrahim Shoga, can you hear me? Okay, Dr. Ibrahim Shoga, can you hear me? Dr. Ibrahim, can you hear me?
Dr. Muhammad, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Do my voice is okay because I cannot hear you?
Yeah, your voice is okay.
Your voice is okay.
Yeah, my voice is okay, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I cannot hear anything.
How can you respond to me? Yeah, you cannot hear me.
I don't know what is the reason.
Can you hear me, Dr. Ibrahim Shoga?
Yeah, I cannot hear you. There is no voice.
Oh my God.
If you cannot hear me, how are you going to respond to my
Maybe
question?
I quit again, then I'll come. Huh? I leave and then come join again. Is it okay? Yeah, but here they hear me, I cannot hear anything. Yeah.
Oh.
So I try to leave and then come back again.
Yeah. Maybe Azlan can help.
Please help Dr. Ibrahim Shoga.
Okay, I personally WhatsApp him.
Very sorry to all.
Okay, I rejoin again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I hope if I will be able to listen.
Can you hear me, Dr. Ibrahim?
Yeah, very unfortunate, cannot. Huh? Maybe I try to use my phone or what. I try to use my phone.
Okay.
Okay, I try to use my phone. Maybe try Muhammad if possible, or Doctor, you can talk. So
Can you hear me?
yeah, it's still not. Yeah, I cannot hear anything. Maybe
Can
from
you
my
hear
email.
me, Dr. Ibrahim?
I join Sister Era there, if possible.
Yeah, better.
Dr. Ibrahim, you just check your setting for the microphone and the speaker. Check the setting for your speaker, Dr. Ibrahim.
He cannot hear us.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay.
He will join Era. Era is next to his room.
Hello.
Yes, Zohira.
Dr. Ibrahim will use my computer.
All right.
Okay. You can make this one.
Sit there.
Instead of
It's okay, Doctor.
that you are using. I continue when maybe you check this one. So that
I will try. But there's no camera.
no camera.
Yes.
You try to open that one.
Okay.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah,
Dr.
Muhammad,
Ibrahim,
now
can you hear me?
Abu Baisara, how are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I am being left outside, so my voice is not good, so I come here. But this Tada camera also.
Tada camera, no problem.
As long as you can talk.
Better tada camera rather than we cannot hear your voice. This is a forum
Yeah,
that you
that
have
is
to
a
use your voice, not your face.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome Dr. Ibrahim Shoga. So let's start our forum today. So we're going to have two sessions for our forum today, and then after these two sessions, we'll open to the question and answer. And then first of all, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has mentioned in Surah Al-Isra, for example, Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi laylan min al-masjidil haram ila al-masjidil aqsa alladhi barakna hawlahu linuriyahu min ayatina innahu was-sami'ul basir. And Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala mentioned to us that that he are the one who took his servant, yani Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, by night from the sacred mosque, which is Masjidil Haram in Mecca, to the farthest mosque, ila Masjidil Aqsa, which is situated in Gaza, in Palestine, that has been surrounded with the blessed from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, so that we may show him some of our signs. And this is Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala tell us about the greatest Al-Aqsa that has been mentioned in Al-Quran and whatnot. So I just would like to ask Dr. Ibrahim Shoga, if you listen to the many speakers today, they are talking about the Israel is the names of the Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, that we cannot use the Israel to show our anger toward the current Israel. So that is not right. It's not. It's wrong. And then people come with the terminology al-Yahud, and then the people of the book, for example, Ahlul Kitab, for example. So Dr. Ibrahim Shoga, can you explain to us all these sorts of terminology that has been used about Al-Yahud, about the Bani Israel, about the people of the book, Ahlul Kitab, for example. So that, can you explain to me from the Quranic perspective, from the Tawhidic perspective, what are actually the best terminology that we want to understand about Al-Yahud, about the Bani Israel, about the Ahlul Kitab? So without further ado, please, Dr. Ibrahim Shoga, share with us.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad, for this. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، حمدا حامدين، حمدا شاكرين، حمدا يوافي النعمة ويكافئ مزيده. اللهم لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, all the audience and the organizer, and also our moderator, Dr. Abu Maysara, and other my colleagues, panelists. I've just got indication from our sister here. I am actually in the office of OCD due to just to make sure this communication should happening well, because at home my communication a little bit is low. I got indication that maybe my voice now there may be okay. I try to join my computer if possible, because I'm right now sitting in the computer of our sister Era here. So just give me 1 minute for shifting. Doctor, it is okay? Abu Maysara?
Please proceed, Dr. Ibrahim.
Yeah, if you just allow me, I just want to shift to my own computer, because our sister Era told me that now is okay. So you can see me, there is two things, face and voice. Sama and Basar, Quran always focusing on two. So allow me go there.
Okay.
Okay.
Unmute,
Sorry.
Doctor.
I am
Okay, good.
Yeah, now I hear your voice, the organizer. Thank you very much, Dr. Zalik. I think well done. And also thank you for my colleagues here to see and also to listen to them. Abu Maysara put to me a question, which I believe it is very important one, because to understand the current situation of Jews in our holy land of Palestine, we need to reflect to their history first, and specifically from the Holy Quran, because Holy Quran, it is being revealed to guide the humanity forever. So if you want to understand any phenomena, especially the human phenomena, better to reflect to Quran first and how the Quran address the issue. Then we do it. So right now, Yahud, as we know, since last 70 years, they are planted in Palestine, and they want to claim this land, and actually they want to remove all the people there. And of course, this is unethical and also unlawful to kill some people and or to remove them from their land and we take that land. It is not allowed ethically and also legally, and also international law do not allow this. But of course, the people in Arabic say that the mighty is always right. That means if you have power, then you can establish the rights, even though unethical way. Of course, this will not work today. And as we have seen, mighty come to you, maybe tomorrow come to me. Okay, and Alhamdulillah, the last event of Gaza have tell us this. Now the mighty is slowly shifting. Okay, let us go to the Quran. How Quran address these people? How address the issue? Abu Maysara asked me about the terminologies, and concepts. Of course, that is maybe it is a right introduction to the characteristics, because really we need to know characteristics of these people and to deal with them accordingly. But the key way to understand is a concept used by the Holy Quran. And I believe that the Holy Quran used three main terminologies. Okay, regardless of the characteristic, which I mention later, what the terms Quran use to these people. Three main terms Quran use. Okay, term number one is Ahlul Kitab. Ahlul Kitab means the people of the scripture. Okay, and when Quran uses the term Ahlul Kitab, include two groups. Okay, Yahud and Nasara, or Christians and Jews. These two groups, we call them Ahlul Kitab. Of course, there is some question sometimes arise here, especially in Malaysia here. Do the term Ahlul Kitab is applicable to today's Jews and Christians? That they put the question. Of course, this question is not easy to answer, but it is very, very useful to be dealt with. So these people, Quran calls them Ahlul Kitab. And don't forget, when Quran use term Ahlul Kitab, it is a very soft term. It is grooming term. Ya Ahlul Kitab. And that is what we call Rukun Iman bil Kutub. So if I didn't believe in Torah, if I didn't believe in Injil, and I didn't believe in Zabur, then I am not Muslim. That is why the Quran used the term Ya Ahl al-Kitab. Ahl al-Kitab. That means Islam tried to establish the link between Muslim and the Jews. Okay. Even one surah says that La tujadilu ahl al-kitab illa billati hiya ahsan. Okay. Don't argue with the ahl al-kitab except by the soft way, and then give exception illa alladhina zalamu minhum. Orang zalim among these ahl al-kitab, then we can be discussed with them very harsh way also. So the Quran here said that don't be harsh in your discussions to establish the fact. Don't be harsh with them. Okay. I hope maybe moderator you can mute. I think there is some voice. I'm not sure if from my voice or other. So right now, the Quran wants to establish this fact, which is said that these people has a more better position than the other people. For example, kafir. Of course, they also kafir, but they have one step closer to us. Okay, one step closer to us. So right now, maybe your mind as Muslim, hey, Islam give me chance to approach this Ahlul Kitab, Nasara and Yahud, more closer. So which one is more closer to me? Now, because there are two groups. It is Yahud or Nasara. Then Quran said that لَتَجِدَنَّ أَشَدَّ النَّاسِ عَدَاوَةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الْيَهُودَ وَالَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا وَلَتَجِدَنَّ أَقْرَبَهُمْ مَوَدَّةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّا نَصَارَى. That means Quran says that if you want to choose between these two groups, which one is more closer to you, then Nasara is more closer. That means that Masihi, orang Masihi is more closer to us. Okay. And I think right now what is happening in Gaza maybe tells that Muslim and Nasara should be united against the Yahud if we apply this ayah. So this is the term used. Of course, a lot of data there, a lot of the information there need to be studied here, okay, to be discussed so that we are able to understand the real relationship, because today we establish our relationship with the outside world based on the maslaha, based on the interest. So which one is more closer to us to make interest? Quran here clearly giving the criteria. So this is the term number one, concept number one, which is Ahlul Kitab. Literally means the people of scripture. Beside Ahlul Kitab, against of the Ahlul Kitab is the orang who has no kitab. At that time, this is Arabs. Arab tada kitab, tada scripture. And that's why they call Ummiyin. Ummiyin. Huwa alladhi anzala alayka al-kitaba. Ala al-Ummiyina rasul arsala. Huwa alladhi arsala للأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة. So we are Ummiyin semua. We are Africa, orang Asia, orang Arab semua apa? Ummiyin. Ummi here is ada kitab. So sekarang ada kitab now. Now we have kitab already. That is the Holy Quran. Okay. So these Quranic terminologies are very important. So what is the opposite of Ahlul Kitab is the Ummiyin. Ummiyin. Okay. Ummi, orang ummi. Okay. Second term used by Holy Quran to describe Yahud is a Bani Israel. Children of Israel. Okay. I am sure our brothers will elaborate on this, but I just mentioned the term Bani Israel here means children of Israel. So your mind say, who is Israel? Israel is the Sayyidina Yaqub alayhi salam. Yaqub alayhi salam is Israel. I hope maybe our brothers mentioned this a little bit later, but I just want to say Israel, as we know, Yaqub alayhi salam, he has 11 children, and these children are brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam, and as we know, Yusuf was being sold in Egypt, and then he grew there and he bring the family, and this family later come to establish the family of Bani Israel in Egypt, in Misr. And of course, Musa alayhi salam will be a Nabi among them, and he was the person who demolished Israel, not Israel, the Pharaoh. He demolished the kingdom of Pharaoh. And the story in the history is very clear. Very good. This one, if you want to study, mashallah, 1 year not enough. Because the Holy Quran gives a lot of data of the of Musa alayhi salam, and how he fight with Pharaoh, and how he fight with what we call magician, those who are magic people, how they fought. Very good story there, but I maybe leave to our brothers there. So this is a second term. Second terminology is a Bani Israel, children of Israel. This is also grooming term actually. That means Quran use very soft word, just like Ahlul Kitab, very good word. When Quran use Bani Israel also good word. Just I call you, for example, Abu Maysara. Instead of say Muhammad Ibrahim, I say Abu Maysara. Abu Maysara is more respect, more better. He more be happy when I say Abu Maysara. But if I say, hey, Muhammad Ibrahim, then that is harsh word a little bit. And that is why the Quran use Ahlul Kitab and then Bani Israel, both of them soft terms. Soft terms. Abu Maysara, how are you? I'm sorry. Number 3, the term number 3 is a Yahud. The term Yahud, that means no title here. The two terms are title, just like somebody called me Associate Professor Dr. Ibrahim. I am very happy. But if you say Ibrahim, then I'm not so happy. Why? Because that is a direct name. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention Yahud directly without any title when he want to give some harsh discussions. Okay, and that's why Quran says that لَتَجِدَنَّ أَشَدَّ النَّاسِ عَدَاوَةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الْيَهُودِ. Didn't say Bani Israel. Didn't say Ahlul Kitab. Al-Yahud. Those who are so enemies or so are very aggressive to the Muslim are the Yahud. Yahud, the term Yahud come. Here, of course, the identity is very important, just like policeman here now. Policeman come, remove the title, take the real name of the person. So Yahud now is a real name for this kind of people. Of course, we need to know the characters of Yahud, not Bani Israel, not Ahlul Kitab. So we need to know the Yahudi character if we want to study them for our future. Thank you very much, Barazama.
Dr. Ibrahim, can you comment 2 or 3 minutes about the Zionism related to the Aqidah?
Thank you very much. Of course, the term Zionism is a new term. It is not an old term. It is a new idea which is being established to us as against what we call as Bani Israel. So if Ahlul Kitab, Yahud, Bani Israel, children of Israel, if we really want to live with together, we call them by these 2 names. We respect them if they are very peaceful. But as we know, they never be peaceful, of course, the history. And that is why actually all the Europe send them to
frozen screen there tu, Dr. Ibrahim. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ibrahim Shoga. I think you can ask the ITD people to help you. Okay, we move to the second panel, which is Prof. Kamaruzzaman.
Abu Maisara, if you allow me, because the concept of Zionist,
yes,
which we use today, where we put with the 3 terms I mentioned, Zionist, as we know, it is also means Yahudi, but this is not the real Yahudi. These are the people who want to hijack the religion of Yahudi to their political motives. These are the Zionists. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ibrahim Shoga. You always be my sifu and my mahaguru in this particular Islamic philosophy context. Thank you very much for the wonderful sharing session. And then I just when listening to Dr. Ibrahim Shoga about the this particular terminology and whatnot, and then also a little bit on the Zionism's phenomenon, and then I just would like to pose a question to Prof. Kamaruzzaman. If we look at this, if we look at the geographical settings of the Palestine, the geographical settings of the current Israel settlements, for example, from the political point of view, from the economical point of view, why is that the current Israel? We are not talking about the prophet of Yaqub, but we are talking about the current Israel. Why they are eagerly to take and control Palestine land. If we put all the factors that are pushing them related to the some people would say that it is also related to the what we call it as their understandings toward this particular places. Please welcome Prof. Kamaruzzaman.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My voice is okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
Very clear, Prof.
Thank you very much. My face also okay?
Yeah.
No shadow, no nothing.
Handsome,
Okay.
bro.
Very okay, bro.
Thank you very much. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim, the moderator for this program in the morning. The organizing committee, Professor Samsul and Professor Datin Zaleha, my fellow panelists, Professor Dr. Ibrahim Shoga and Associate Professor Dr. Aminuddin Yatiban from University Utara Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I would like to thank Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala for giving me opportunity to be part of the program this morning. Alhamdulillah. Regarding the question on the factors that bring about the problem of the current situation, we might also would like to answer some of the basic question. That is why Zionists are so eager to take and control Palestine lands, yeah, as it was happened since 1948 until now. I can say that there are some reasons. For example, we can mention first reason, that is the Zionist movement, who using religion as a tool to justify their move and to subjugate other people's land, to throw out Palestinian, about almost 1 million of them, yeah, has been sent out from their own land, yeah, due to this conflict. If we, for example, refer to the Old Testament, it is not, as Dr. Ibrahim Shoga mentioned, yeah, Old Testament is not really Taurat, because it has been changed in one way or another. So if, for example, we follow or we refer to the Genesis 12:7, 13:15, 15:18, 17:8, for example, it is mentioned clearly from their perspective that is the land is often referred to as the promised land because of God's repeated promise to give the land to the descendant of Abraham. They, in some cases also, they already emphasize that this particular land not only referred to the land of Palestine, but it's covered a wider area that is from the river of Nile until Iraq or until Euphrates. So this particular ayah from the Old Testament has been used by both parties, that is by Al-Yahud, as Dr. Sugar said, also by the Zionist movement who came later. So although the Zionist movement is not really a religious movement, if we are referring to the historical aspect of it, but they are using religion, they are using Old Testament, yeah, they are using their name Torah in order to justify their movement. Although their movement came later, that is when Theodor Herzl, yeah, in 1897, for example, started the movement when he, the one who established the World Zionist Organization, WZO, whereby in his book, yeah, The Jewish State, I hope we can refer to this book, The Judenstaat, in German later on, but it is very difficult, Dr. Ibrahim, to get this book, because this book is already banned, yeah, by the Malaysian government. But for us scholars, I'm pretty sure we will be able to find it and then to read through in order to understand what actually they have in their mind, what actually their movement, and then why they are doing that. That one also part of the academic exercise that we can do it later. This is what they believe, referring to the Old Testament. They believe that this land has been given, has been promised to the descendant of Abraham. So the question is, who are the descendant of Abraham? As Dr. Ibrahim also rightly mentioned, there are two sons of Abraham. The first one is Ishmael, Nabi Ismail alaihi salam. The second is Nabi Ishaq or Isaac, in their term. So if we are even referring to these particular chapters of the Bible, the Arab, who are also the descendant of Abraham, they are still have the rights, to stay there, to govern that particular area, because this is the promised land, not only to the Jews but also to the Arabs, because they are also the descendant of Abraham. This is one question. So the discussion, the conflict, quarrel continues, until the coming of the last prophet, that is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when it is mentioned clearly in the Quran. For example, in Surah Al-Imran, verse 67, where Allah Subhanahu wa Taala mentioned, "Ma kana Ibrahimu Yahudiyan wala Nasraniyan, walakin kana Hanifan Muslima." Meaning Ibrahim was neither a Jew nor a Christian, but he was upright, a Muslim, and was not one of those who associate partners with him. So if we want to actually to rebut, to reject the idea of only the Jews who are who have the right to be in Palestine, with these Quranic verses, it is mentioned clearly that first, Ibrahim, Rasulullah, Khalilullah, he is not only Abul Anbiya, but he is also the prophet, of Islam. This is where the conflict started. Same also whenever we discuss about the prophet David, for example, as well as Sulaiman, because they mentioned this is the place for the King David. This is the temple of David, the temple of Solomon. So we can argue, we can ask. The problem nowadays, especially in Malaysia also, most of us confused. Not most of us, most of them. Most of the Muslim people also confused. They still believe that Moses is the prophet of the Jews, and then Isa is the prophet to the Christian. So if we can some sort of clear up this particular misunderstanding, that is all prophets from Adam alayhi salam until the time of the last prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all of them are Muslim. So there is no place, if we discuss this from the religious perspective also, there is no place either Christian nor Jews, and then for sure Zionists is out of question already, because they are not a religious movement. They are secular, and they have a lot of secular characteristics that probably we can discuss later. So this is the first point that I think we have to mention. We have to make everything clear. That is, they believe, and then they said that this is their promised land, but at the same time also we believe, this is not the promised land due to their descendant, their blood relationship, but it is due to the religious relationship that all of the prophets have. That's why when it come into the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then later on, yeah, during the time of Umar, for example, Caliph Umar, what Umar did was he was in person, yeah, to go, yeah, to Jerusalem in order to take the key of the gate of Jerusalem, yeah, in order to make everything official, yeah. That is the time when if the Muslim is able to take over this particular blessed land, so for sure Islam will be able to govern, to make peace, to give justice not only to the Muslim people but also to the Jews as well as to the Christian. So this is what the covenant of Umar all about. And then when the Crusades came again in 1099, yeah, we can see that it is not long after that, in 1188 or 1187, when the Sultan of Islam, Salahuddin Ayyubi, took over and then bring back peace and harmony in that particular area, and then continuously until the end of the Ottoman Empire. It was the San Remo agreement that changed almost everything, and then later on we can see that the British mandate took over the power in the land of Palestine and continuously changed into the hand of the Zionists in 1948. So this is a very general historical perspective that I would like to lay down to share with you in order to make especially our listeners and our good friends outside there to help them to have a better understanding. This is one aspect that very important that we have to understand. The second point, it is also as Dr. Muhammad mentioned in his questions, that is some other factors also that bring about this particular conflict, yeah, between the Muslim and the rest of the world. Yeah, for example, the things is that all about the strategic location of the Middle East. Yeah, so the location of the Middle East played a major role, where it is this area that's actually as a link, yeah, between East and West, whereby any type of transport or communication that from the West would like to come to the East, they have no choice, yeah, but to pass by either by land or by sea, yeah, or even by air nowadays, yeah, they have to pass through the Middle East. So this particular strategic location of the Middle East also has been considered, yeah, not only by the Zionist movement but also to the world power that particular time, as well as what is happening now, in order to make sure that if they can control Middle East, meaning that they can control the whole world. It is also something related to the religious centers. Yeah, although we already mentioned just now that there is Islam is the world of the religion of the whole those who believe in Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. But after certain time, yeah, the Muslim has been given part of their responsibility, and then another two Ahlul Kitab, that is Christianity as well as Judaism, they belong to different type of religion. So all of those religions, yeah, coming from the Middle East, yeah. Although Allah Subhanahu wa Taala mentioned in the Quran, "Walikulli ummatin rasulan," yeah, verily it is every single nation there will be a prophet, yeah. But we believe that all of those prophets, yeah, never be sent to Kelantan, yeah, never be sent to the Malay world, for example. We don't have that particular civilization and belief, but we believe that if not all, most of them, I can say that all of them, that one we have to refer to Shaykhuna Dr. Ibrahim Sogar, وهو يعلم مني بالنسبة هذه هذا الموضوع. Sorry to give a little bit of my Arabic is so limited, just to share some. So the things is that, as I mentioned, when we are talking about religion, so Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, all of those religions, are based in Middle East, and in particular, it is until now based in the land of Jerusalem, in the Palestine, whereby we can see Masjid Al-Aqsa, for example, the second masjid that has been built by Ibrahim. I also would like to ask also our Jewish brothers, why they don't consider this Masjid Al-Aqsa as the temple of Abraham. This is also a big question, whereby they claim that the Masjid of Daud alayhi salam and the Masjid of Sulaiman, they consider as the temple of Solomon, the temple of David. Why? This is also some sort of misleading, about this particular aspect of religion. So, the Masjid Al-Aqsa, belong to the Muslim, as we claim it, and then after that, they have also adjacent, very close, by to the Masjid Al-Aqsa is the Wailing Wall or the Western Wall, whereby they believe that this is the place where the Prophet Musa alayhi salam started to build or to establish the place of worship for them. And then not far from there, there is also the Holy Sepulchre, whereby they also believe it was happened during the Helena, the mother of Constantine III, who she went to Jerusalem, and then she found out that it's a very big stone, and then she believed that this is the place where the Prophet Isa alayhi salam has been laid down, before she believed that the Prophet buried later on. But for sure, the Muslim believe the other way around. As mentioned in the Quran. Some reason also we would like to mention, to highlight here, is the economic reason. Why? Especially after the Second World War, all those countries in the Middle East, they are very famous, very rich, due to petroleum, as well as some other natural resources. So European powers, in one way or another, they have no choice but to control this area. How to control this area? They have already some sort of like a very small state that will be their place where if there is any problem happen in the Middle East, they will go back and stay in Israel. They will be in Israel to be in the safe side, for all their interests that they have. So for this economic reason also, we can see that why first they built the state of Israel. Second, why they are coming from the early 20th century, even before that, keep coming to the Middle East, due to economic reason. So they know these particular country states, they are very rich, very wealthy. You can check from the internet. But apart from that, they believe that it is their responsibility also to civilize this area by preparing, for example, helping them to build new infrastructures, highways, bridges, and so on. And then they also believe that this particular state need arms, so they are involved in the arm dealings. They also believe that it is the responsibility of the British during that particular time, especially after the declaration of Balfour, whereby the Lord Balfour declared that he will help to establish in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, and then continued with the some agreements, yeah, signed by Sykes and Picot, yeah, between British and the French, responsible for that before even the end of the First World War. So the last point that I would like to mention here is a proxy war. Yeah, we have to understand also it actually during the time of the Cold War. Yeah, the war that virtually taking place between America and Russia never happened in Washington. The war never taking place, yeah, in Moscow, but all of those wars, yeah, took place in the Middle East. Yeah, you can see, for example, the Afghanistan, the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, for example, several times. Yeah, the war in Syria also, the latest, the war in Yemen also. Yeah, and a war in Libya, in some other parts of the Middle East. All of those wars, yeah, when we are talking about war, we need weapons, yeah, we need some other systematic or more sophisticated tools, yeah. You can mention it either something related with strategic or special equipment that they need, yeah, something related with internet and so on and so forth. So they really understand that this area is not that stable, very unstable. I mean, politically as well as socially. So this is their time to come, yeah, under the name of helping others in order to make sure that at the end of the day, they are the one who will get benefit. So overall, yeah, to conclude at this juncture, I would like to say that it is really first due to religious tension. Second, it is due to the Zionists who really played their role until yesterday. Yeah, today I'm not sure what's happening because some of them are still sleeping. Yeah, we are in the morning in Malaysia. That's really concern all of us, not only all of us, but the rest of the world, because we believe that if we cannot bring together all those at least two conflicting ideas, yeah, on this issue, yeah, that is Muslim and Yahud, yeah. So the things will never end, and then we are also the one who will suffer, not only their people. So with that, terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Prof. Kamruzaman, on the highlighting a few points that I think it will be very great for us if we are observing the facts that has been shared by Prof. Kamruzaman, because this is actually when we conduct when we are posting in the idea of having this particular discourse sessions under the TC Taman Insan Sejahtera IIUM Kuantan Pahang, so that it just to have to start a ball rolling on what happening surrounding us, and then the most recent the humanity crisis. I would say it is the Palestine crisis with the Israel and whatnot. This is the our strategy to make sure that our Kuantan campus members actually. For Prof. Kamruzaman and Dr. Aminur Rashid Atiban, we are in the health campus whereby all the brothers and sisters are looking at the books, are looking at their stethoscope, they are looking at their microscope. They are not looking at the world with their microscope, but they are looking at the virus. They are looking about their microbiology parts. But as Islamic scientists. We have to use all this particular scope to look to see the whole world. So this is our effort actually to engage our brothers and sisters in Kuantan campus, looking with the scientific tools to the world actually. So this is our effort. And then I'm very we are very lucky to have Dr. Amin today, Prof. Zaman, for example, because we rare to share this kind of forum session in Kuantan campus actually. So without further ado, after listening to the Dr. Ibrahim Shoga, for example, on the terminology that has been used by the Quran, justifying the terminology of Al-Yahud and Nasara, Ahlul Kitab, and then when we understand a little bit about the Zionisms, in the ideology that want to put the Zionist ideology in the lens of the Palestinians, and then from Prof. Zaman point of view also, and they want to conquer the economic, the strategic place whereby they can sustain their Zionism ideology, for example. And then back to Dr. Aminur Rashid Yatiban, we have seen a lot of the battles, a lot of the operation that has been done by the Israel to the Palestinian people, starting from the 1940s and then until now. It is almost 70 years, for more than 70 years, for example. So in the current situation, what actually happened during 11 days of the ebullitions, or what really happened in the 11 days of war between the Palestinians and Israel recently? And then according to your point of view also, you can touch a little bit about the current situation, what happened. I mean, I pass the microphone to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim, the moderator for this wonderful session that I believe that we learned a lot from our two professors, Professor Ibrahim Shogar and also Professor Dr. Kamaruzaman Yusuf. So thank you very much to moderator. Thank you very much to Yang Berusaha, Professor Dr. Shamsul Draman, Yang Berusaha, Associate Professor Dr. Zaliha Kasim, and all faculty members of IIUM. Dr. Muhammad mentioned about Taman Insan Sejahtera, which is a very lovely term that been used, and I believe that that's also encouraged us to be here today. My respected, my fellow respected panelists, both Professor Kamaruzaman and Professor Dr. Ibrahim Shoga. The organizers, Azlan, the chairman that communicating with me so far to discuss about this session, and my fellow friends, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to share with all of you my observations, my experience, and also maybe a little bit knowledge to be shared with us today. And when Dr. Muhammad mentioned about most of you in this Taman Insan Sejahtera, looking at the microscopes, looking at those the books, that's very, very good actually. This just come across to my mind when I was in a forum with Dr. Midhat Abbas. He's the advisor for Palestine Minister of Health in Gaza, and of course he's a medical doctor, and he involved with all the operations, with all the activities to save the lives of the people in Gaza, with all these busyness schedules, that very busy schedules that he has. Then he shared with us something that yes, I have to play my parts, play my roles to save lives, to keep them alive, to help people here and there in the hospitals, in the fields, under the rubbles, and so on. But I will never disassociate myself with the struggle of Palestine to liberate the land. So basically, guys, when you read the books, when you study, when you focus on your job as a student or staff, as a researchers, and so on, then this should be the best reason for you to also associate and involve yourself, and of course ourselves, me myself, okay, to help the people in need, to save lives, to save humanity, to help others, because the knowledge also come with the responsibility, inshallah. That's the introduction to our discussion from my viewpoints, that it is very important for us to sit like this, to be here, to think, to discuss, to learn. And from there, then inshallah, we can revitalize the spirit that we should have as of course, we will be the freedom fighter. We will be those who will strive our best, inshallah, to save people, to save our fellow brothers and sisters in Palestine, and so on. So briefly, to discuss about the 11 days and also the circumstances surrounding that 11 days before and after, I can try to classify or try to emphasize at least into three main events that occurred before that 11 days, and also during that 11 days and after that 11 days. The first event is about the expulsion of Palestine people from Sheikh Jarrah village. So basically, they have been expelled. Their land have been stolen. Their homes have been grabbed by the Zionists. Okay, so you know who is Sheikh Jarrah? Sheikh Jarrah was the doctor of Salahuddin Al-Ayyubi. So he's a tabib. He's a doctor. So that this also will give us something to understand that Sheikh Jarrah village is not just been built last 2 years or 3 years, but the history of the village. Basically, this the village of Palestine refugees that tried to save their life when they have been expelled earlier in 1948. So to make it short, that they have been allocated place there. So after 1948, basically Sheikh Jarrah started, if I'm not mistaken, around about 1956, that they settled there. Okay, and during that time, it was under the Jordanian rules or the Jordanian responsibility. Okay, by the way, as time goes by, unfortunately, this part is no longer under the Jordanian. And you know that the whole West Bank, I can say, not only the the land, the occupied land, beside the rest of the occupied land of Palestine that have been claimed as the Israeli territories nowadays, even the West Bank is still under occupation. That's why later on I will explain to you about the second event regarding the attacks on Al-Aqsa Mosque. Okay, why we can see here that all the troops, all the soldiers are Israeli soldiers. Where's the Palestinian one? We may think that if it is our mosque, then the guards, all who will cover, protect the mosque will be, of course, Muslims. But then why the Israeli soldiers here and there, and easily can enter, can take the people, can stop the people, can even bombarded them or shoot them with the rifles and so on. Okay, so what happened in Sheikh Jarrah when after it's not 10 or 20 years, but more than 60 years, they have been there. But then when it is claimed by the Israeli regime or the illegal Israeli government as part of their land, what they have done is to sell the land to the Zionists, to Zionist settlers. That's why if you look into the Israeli media or Western media, they will mention about this land or the decision to expel the Palestinian people is based on the court laws. I mean, so the court decided that this should be given to the Zionist settlers. So basically, they bought they offer the Israeli regime offered to the Zionist settlers that may come from the US or from the Europes or from the Russia and so on to buy the land, and then the settlers, the Zionist settlers, claim that that's their land and can easily claim and push the Palestinians from their own home for so many years. Okay, so of course, if me myself, even you guys, if our home, our land were stolen like that, then there should be a protest. That's why if we look into a few a video that viral, we can see that how can you come here to claim my properties, my land, my home, and so on. Okay, so then a protest after protest after protest, then unfortunately this happened during the Ramadan time, and to try to divert the protest, the complaint, the rally initiated by the Palestinians there, then that's what happened when the Zionists started to attack Al-Aqsa Mosque. Okay, so we can see, well, it's a very brutal attack, very ruthless attack. They attacked the mosque for the Mu'takifin and Mu'takifat, that stayed there among the Murabitun and Murabitat, that stayed there especially during the last days of Ramadan, and they bombarded with the tear gas, and they also shoot people here and there. So they attacked that basically for them, for the Zionists. Al-Aqsa is the soft spot. So when they attack the Al-Aqsa Mosque, then even people from Sheikh Jarrah will look into and will ignore their protest against the Israeli regime in their place. So that's their intention. But then for the Muslims, especially during that time in Baitul Maqdis, after this second brutal event, the attack towards Al-Aqsa Mosque, then they shouted to their brothers and sisters in Gaza. They look for, of course, look for help, and they never ask for help from, unfortunately, the Palestine Authority. I'm sorry for those who support Palestine Authority, but it's just they didn't do anything to help. They didn't do anything to stop what happened in Sheikh Jarrah and what happened in Al-Aqsa Mosque. Even I should share with you how the PA even worked together with the Israeli regime. For example, in the early Ramadan, what happened? One of the Palestine brother, he has U.S. citizenship actually, but then to make it simple, he attacked the Zionists. He shot the Zionists and caused a few injuries to the Zionists at one of the checkpoints. And he managed to escape. He ran away and he managed to escape. You know who then detained and helped to arrest this guy, this Palestine guy? Unfortunately, the Palestinian Authority, the PA. Okay, so guys, that's the background. And then when they asked for help, the first rocket from Gaza, which is not to trigger any war or to attack the people in Baitul Maqdis, or to attack the people in the occupied Palestine, or to attack Israelis. No, but just to warn the Israeli regime, the Zionists, please stop. Please stop the humiliation against Al-Aqsa Mosque. Please stop the attack, the assault on the Murabitin and Murabitat. That's why the rocket didn't cause any casualties. Of course, the rocket may cause damage to the parts of building in during that time is in Jerusalem or Baitul Maqdis. Okay, but to warn them, to be perfectly honest, that's fair enough. Even me myself, if want to discuss about whether this is justified or not, even much earlier justified, because they want the insult or the humiliation against their brothers and sisters who have been so long occupied. So basically, the Israeli regime occupied their land. Not only occupied their land, they also expelled the Palestinians from their home, that they seek refuge. Okay, and also they attack and humiliate Palestinian people. So it is more than justified for brothers in Gaza to give a warning to them, and from there, unfortunately, it has been followed by a very brutal attacks against Gaza. Okay, if we can see there, you can see from the viewpoints of from the viewpoints of Muslims, or for those who fight for humanity, who will fight for human rights, or to try to protect international law and so on. This is totally disproportionate. So basically, if one rocket shot from Gaza, then they will follow with all the bombardments that destroyed properties, destroyed all the towers in Gaza, and kill randomly people in Gaza. I think I need to share with you how the IDF see Gaza. Okay, in one of the statement, and this has been published in Haaretz, one of a mainstream media in Israel, that the general of IDF, Aviv Koshavi, you can see that this the one of the general, the chief of general staff in IDF, what he see about Gaza. Gaza for him is not a place where people live. Okay, it's a special problem to be solved. It's millions of Palestinian inhabitants were for him. This man referred to last month in May, at most an obstacle to his ambition to magnify the scale of destruction. So it is totally intended to destruct, to damage, to kill massively the people of Gaza. That's why we will never hear, we will never listen from IDF to say we are very sorry, apology, that for whatever reason we kill the children, this and that. Never, never, never. Because what they see, Gaza is the problem. Gaza is the why they cannot conquer Gaza. They cannot push Gaza people to surrender. Gaza, with just the width of Gaza, in parts of Gaza is just 6 kilometers, and the biggest one is just 12 kilometers, the width, and the length is around about 41 kilometers. You can see even maybe Kuantan is bigger than that, right? Guys, with all this, we can see maybe the weaknesses of them, but then Gaza will never surrender. Gaza will never surrender. And even Gaza was a nightmare for the Israeli regime. Okay, that's why with all the damage, the destruction, the massive killings, the atrocities that committed by them, I will not suggest to use is like the Palestine and Israeli war. No, it is a total attacks on Gaza. Gaza under attack. This is full of bombardments by the Israeli regime. And of course, Gaza people will defend their rights. Not only their rights, actually our rights. They defend our responsibilities. You see, to save the people when they have been attacked in Al-Aqsa Mosque. Is it just the responsibility of people in Baitul Maqdis? Is this just the responsibility of the people in Gaza? No, guys. This is also our responsibility. And Gaza people, at least representing us to defend the rights of the people, to at least to face and to deal with the IDF, the ruthless of IDF, with at least kind of resistance. And with all the destruction, we may feel that it seems this will be the win for, or the successful one for the Israeli regime. No, even the Israeli media, most of Israeli media mentioned that this is the most failed operation of IDF. That's why we will understand the jubilation scene in Gaza, why they celebrated the ceasefire, because this is their win. This is their success to protect their land from being occupied by the Israeli regime. Okay, so that's the background of that 11 days. And before that, so at least we need to understand what happened in Sheikh Jarrah. And unfortunately, this is the news yesterday. Not only Sheikh Jarrah, but also the latest one in Silwan. Sheikh Jarrah in the northern part of Al-Aqsa Mosque, and Silwan in the southern part of Al-Aqsa Mosque. What they tried to do, this is part of the Judaization process, or the Judaization project, to expel Palestinians with whatever reasons they can create, and then put the Zionist settlers from all over the world to create what they will claim that this is the Jewish city. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Aminur Rashid, for highlighting the issue for us. I think if we listen to the flow of our forum today, we can understand why our Palestinian brothers and sisters, they are trying their best to represent us in front of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala in the hereafter, on the obligation to defend the Al-Aqsa, inshallah. So we finish with our first round, and then we have our second round. So this is the speeding round, what we call it. So each of the panel will be given 10 minutes to respond to the questions, and also 1 or 2 minutes to wrap the discussion at the end of the explanation, inshallah. So without further ado, I would like to ask Dr. Ibrahim Shoga. And then when we listen to Dr. Amin's talks, Dr. Amin's deliberations on the what's happening during 11 days of war, and then with the armed forces, with the technology that has been that Israel have, and then I think they are more than enough strong to occupy the Al-Aqsa and also the Gaza. But why in this time around they accept the ceasefire after the 11 days of war between the Gaza with Israel? In your opinion, and then through your readings and the experiences, what happened? Okay, go to you, Dr. Ibrahim.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad. I think the question you put is reflecting one of the most important characteristics which the Quran describes Yahud. Maybe I mentioned some of their characteristics, and we need to take those characteristics more seriously in our conflict with Zionists. Luckily, last few weeks, as Dr. Rashid mentioned, Gaza fighting on behalf of the whole Muslim Ummah, they show miracles. And I believe that they resurrected the issue of Palestine, inshallah, forever. The children don't know what is this issue, now they know. Regarding why they stopped the war, this is reflecting the major character of Yahud, which the Quran described. Quran said they will not fight except wara judur. Judur here is usually they put something in front of themselves, so they fight behind. That means this is maybe some people or some nations and so on. So if the war comes direct to them, they are totally unable to face the enemy. And this is what Quran mentioned several times. And we need to use this factor in our conflict with the Zionists. That means they cannot confront the enemy. They cannot face to face. They bring some other people to fight for them, just like what they are using other nations today, America and so on and so on. So if face to face, they will not tolerate that. And that is why they very fast stop. And actually this fact, even the Gaza people get aware. So whenever they want to do something, they say, no, we will come to war again. And I'm sure Israelis don't want to come. And this is another character related to this. Quran says, وَلَتَجِدَنَّ أَشَدَّهُمْ حُبًّا لِلْحَيَاةِ. The ayah is I trying to recall. They love the life very much. So if somebody loves the life very much, usually don't want to die. So we need to understand this fact so that we are able to defeat them. But Dr. Muhammad, maybe I gain the chance to address the issue a little bit in a very short manner. Gaza last conflict with Zionists, they resurrect the issue of Palestine. Inshallah, this will be forever. Why? Because firstly, they make the new generations aware about the issue. And this awareness must continue. And what we are doing right now, I think, luckily, alhamdulillah, the Office of Campus Director in Academic and Dr. Zaliha and also our professor who is head of this office, Dr. Prof suggested, and luckily the proposal was ready from Zaliha. So finally we are able to conduct, but I think should continue. This awareness should continue. So I believe there is two lines. One line is just to conduct this kind of talks and to create awareness, current issues and so on. The second part is not only what we call creating awareness, but real research about the Zionist behavior and how we are able to use. Because Yahud, their character already being mentioned in the Quran. First, they love the life. Very much. Donating money, as Prof. Dr. Rashid mentioned, they love the money and use the money for their fighting. Number 4 is politics. Okay, politics here means they try to make some lobbying with some groups, as it happened with the Yahud in Medina. Yahud in Medina with the Makkah people, Mushrik. They want to create what you call as a group, one group. So they fight Muhammad and send him. This idea is currently we have. Of course, the Zionists are being established by Britain, but it is being adopted by America, and America uses us like virus to make the body of the Muslim world weak. So this virus, it is time to be removed from the body. And I'm sure what Dr. Rashid and Dr. Prof. Kamar mentioned, it is going to this path, which we need to understand the reality of this matter. No need to just worry. No need to say they are massively clever and so on. Yes, that is true. They are clever, but they never confront their enemy. So that is the one fact. So they love the money. They never confront their enemy. They use the others to fight for them. They love money. Okay. The 4 factors which I mentioned, we need to address them within our academic life. Okay. So maybe Dr. Rashid focus on how do you love money and how they use the money for scientific purposes to develop the what we call technology, missiles, so they fight us. Okay. Political part maybe Prof. Kamruzaman or other group or others of scholars across the Muslim world to investigate about this factor. Only that way, how they use the others for their own purposes. Okay, Europeans, Americans, even Muslims. Okay, Muslim groups. Sometimes they hijack now United Arab Emirates with them. Okay, they put the force to make them grouping, and then they fight the other Muslims. So these people sometimes is helpless because they have no choice. Instead, if we condemn them, no, we must understand that the behavior of Israel using the others to fight for them. So not necessarily to condemn, for example, those countries who are trying to loyal with them, because the heart of the Ummah is against this. Not heart of the Ummah, but the whole global community against this kind of behavior. Apartheid, which is being finished in South Africa, cannot be established anymore. Anybody knows this. Young children against this idea. Within the Israel, many against this kind of things. You cannot get rid of some people to establish yourself there. It is totally unethical. So what we need is we study this academically and to be used also politically. Because the matter, as Dr. mentioned, and the 2 professors mentioned, it is as 2 dimensions, political, religious, and the 3rd one is the economics. So we need to understand the issue from this part. And I am sure the last war has shown very clearly new era started. The era which the Muslims will be able to defeat Israel. Of course, by force can, but I don't want to say by force, because by force is usually the others will align with him, and still we are not in the position to do so. That is why many people, this is only Gaza. But if you imagine Lebanon or Hezbollah come aside, then what you call Iran come and others come, Israel will finish one day. But I believe that should not be the scenario, because Israel also have the people to stop behind. Okay, don't create in the third world war. No, political for me is not yet, or military not yet. So what I mean is we study this phenomena carefully, and finally I believe only Gaza will be able to make the Zionists go back again. Only Gaza, not Palestine all. Only Gaza able to do so, and they, alhamdulillah, they established. Doctor, if you give me, I just want to mention one principle mentioned by the great historian Arnold Toynbee. Arnold Toynbee is a contemporary historian, and he has very good ideas, and he usually follow Ibn Khaldun. Okay, he mentioned something. Principle. He said there is to grow the nation, to grow and build civilization, there must be challenge. So civilization is a response to the challenge, and he called it a challenge and response. So if this challenge is too massive, then cannot make a response proper, because we die. If it is too weak, then cannot provoke the person to wake up, but should be in the middle. And I believe that is what happened exactly to the Gazan people. Gazan people is being totally in big prison. Okay, so they are nowhere to go from the sea, nowhere go to the air, nowhere from the land. So what they do? So they dig down, you know. Jalan now, they dig down. Go inside, you know. Then they make barrels and suddenly come to the enemy. Ya Allah, enemy don't know where is the barrel end. And that is the point which I am sure is starting point which make this Israel defeated. And don't defeat here means not a military, no. You make the life difficult for them, and these people will run away to their own countries. Nobody come born there has no country. All they have countries. They come across the world. Okay, if they want to live with us peacefully, that is okay. But the issue as being hijacked by the Zionism, I am sure there is no peaceful. Okay. Yes. وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن رِّبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ تُرْهِبُونَ بِهِ عَدُوَّ اللَّهِ وَعَدُوَّكُمْ وَآخَرِينَ مِن دُونِهِمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَهُمُ اللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ. So when we be ready, if you attack, I attack. Then Israel will run away. I'm sure. Gaza do, I think that is. Thank you very much for the comment, and I believe it is well done by our two professors also.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ibrahim Sugar, on the very interesting wrap up from you, I think. Very good. And then back to Prof. Kamruzaman. If we see there are people are trying to be a middle persons, regardless US, for example, regardless Egypt, regardless all the and then also a few countries to help to solve the problems between the Israel and also Palestinian people. Not Palestinian, I use the terminology, but I mean, and not the Palestinian government, but Palestinian people as a whole. With a two-state solution, for example. Two-state solution, for example, regarding the Israel people and then government and Israel people are not happy with that particular suggestions, for example. So, in your opinion, how to solve the enmity between the Israel and Palestine issues? So everybody with a good mind, healthy mind, for example, they want the whole can be occupy and live together for everybody, regardless they are Muslim and non-Muslim. But there are countries, there are a person who are willing to to come a solution, for example, with the two-state solution. So in your opinion, what is the best, perhaps, for our Muslim to accept, and also for the whole to know how to solve the problems lah, actually. Back to you, Prof. Kamruzaman.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim, my fellow panelist, organizing committee. This is my last question, I suppose, and I would like to make it very brief. Go back to the question that asked by Dr. Muhammad, yeah, how to solve the enmity between Israel and Palestine. Yeah, this is a very big question. They have been trying this since 1947, but they failed. Yeah, but we still hope that there is always a light, yeah, at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, hopefully, inshallah. So the crux of the issue, the root of the problem is that not only religious issues. If it is religious issues, it will be easier if everybody go back to their own reveal or their own source of knowledge or source of their religion. The problem nowadays has been exacerbated. Why? Because of the Israel government already mentioned in their constitution that is the right to return, whereby it's mentioned clearly all the Jewish people from all over the world, they have the rights to return to Palestine according to the constitution that has been tabled in 1950, 1954, the last one is 1970. So this is the first, meaning that whenever we want to start the discussion, we have to look into the problem within the Israeli constitution, whereby it is already conflicting with not only what the Palestinians are heading for, but it is all related to the constitution that has been already have in their constitution. That's why, when we refer to Yasser Arafat, for example, yeah, the leader of the PLO, yeah, since a long time ago, when he shared his insights on the current situation, he said, war is a dream, peace is a nightmare. The meaning is that if it is war, so everybody will be able to take their chunk of the cake, but whenever it is peace, so nobody can get benefit out of it. Especially when we are talking about the Israeli government, the Zionist movement, as well as Yasser Arafat himself. Because if it is peace, meaning that there is no place for Yasser Arafat, yeah, to get more benefits, yeah, in terms of, for example, money, financial help, financial aids from all over the world, and then he wants also to show that he is the hero. So this is coming from the internal factors that I mentioned. From the internal, from the external perspective, yeah, everybody knows that there are already 128 resolutions, yeah, accepted by the United Nations in this particular issue since 1948 until 2016. All of those resolutions failed, yeah, to take place. Yeah, same also, yeah, in the case of the resolution has been accepted by the United Nations Security Council, whereby there are 6 members, yeah, who are really very big, the giant members who have the veto power. So all of those resolution has been cancelled, yeah, by the American due to their unequivocal support, yeah, to the Zionist movement. Dr. Ibrahim also, Shogar also mentioned about apartheid. Yeah, some people believe that if apartheid that took place since 1906 until 1994, that is that has been taken place in South Africa, is take too long, yeah, more than 90 years. But due to the ability, due to the commitment given by the whole world, this apartheid regime collapsed. And then the ANC managed to take over the government in a very diplomatic way. So the question asked is, if apartheid in Africa could succeed, why Palestine can't make it? Some people said, oh, this is under America. Yeah, the British who are always helping them, the European also. But during this fast changing world, no more empire. America now is shaky and they're facing great challenge from China and India, for example. So the movement started by boycott, sanction, and other effort by certain group, for example. I always believe that this particular movement must be started by the NGOs, because they are the one who can do the advocacy to advocate, yeah, their own governments, and then after that, it will be able to do more in order to bring in people from all over the world. For sure, we believe that not everybody in this world, especially non-Muslim, they are supporting Israel. Some of them believe that there is no way to support Israel, although some says that it is the right for the Israeli government to defend themselves. But there are some European leaders also keep asking, what happened to the Palestinian people? They also has the right to live. So we also, they said, instead of supporting the Israeli government, it is better to support to those who has been oppressed for more than 70 years. Yeah, in the case, for example, when we are talking about Ireland, what happened to the Ireland government, Irish government, where they start to boycott certain product from Israel. They are sending medical team, and then they call back their diplomats from Tel Aviv. So I am pretty sure this particular movement also, yeah, could be done, and then we will get some sort of successful measures after we are doing that. Talking to the what the Hamas movement has been proposed, for example, in 2017, they proposed to have two-state solution. We already know that the two-state solution is not new. It has been proposed in 1947 under the pretext of the United Nations at that time. And then this movement also has been continued by the United Nations, later on accepted by the American in 1993. And then later on, there was some sort of a partition given some of the land to the Palestinian Authority under the leadership of Yasser Arafat. But that one doesn't work because Israel never accept any proposal that has been done by anybody that will give them some sort of not at the upper hand. So when we are trying to see or trying to examine the proposal prepared by the Hamas group in 2017, for example, yeah, when Khalid Mash'al proposed a new type of two-state solution, whereby they said they want to have a better relation with the rest of the world, yeah, also to the Israeli government, but not they are not going to prepare to accept Israel government as the government to the Palestine. They also want to bring back about more than 7 million refugees, al-Laji'in, from all over the world. There has been, as Dr. Yatiban mentioned just now, all over the world, there has been thrown out, but now they want to bring back those people. And then there are about 7 million people. You cannot imagine if 7 million people, Palestinian, came and then stay in the new government that has been proposed by Hamas. For sure that this number will be the same number as the whole population of Israel nowadays, if not less. And then they also believe that they will be able to have their own army. They believe also this proposal will give more prosperity and then bring back harmony and peace, at least among the people who believe in this particular proposal. And then this also will give more room for others to visit Palestine. And then the place that they already mentioned is that they want to have this discussion, the deal, yeah, with the rest of the world, but not with the Palestinian, with the Israeli government, to bring back the pre-war 1967 territory. Yeah, that is include mainly the West Bank as well as the Gaza Strip. So if we see, this is not a very easy task, easy job. And then we also believe, as a student of international relations, I also believe that there is nowhere to have war. Yeah, war might take place, might happen, but yeah, there must be in one way or another, or at one time or another, to have this type of negotiation, yeah, between the two. But yeah, for the Muslim, we believe to the hadith on eschatology, yeah, the hereafter, whereby Yaumul Qiyamah will not take place, yeah, until and when the Muslim manage to take over the city of Jerusalem under the Muslim hand, and then it will be the capital of the new state or new country that will be established soon. But for those Arab, for example, yeah, I am very happy to see that Professor Ibrahim Shogat is not part of the Arab. I'm not sure whether he claimed that he is belong as the Arab, because some Arab people, they believe to this particular hadith, yeah, the eschatological hadith. That's why they don't want to move forward to help the Palestinians, because when they help the Palestinian, at the end of the day, the Palestinian will win, and then the Yaumul Qiyamah will come, and then they don't have time to gather wealth, yeah, to have a good, very luxurious life as what they have now. We hope that Allah SWT will help us all, and then it is our responsibility also to make sure that to disseminate this particular knowledge and ideas to our non-Muslim brothers and sisters. Also, we are, because we are living in Malaysia, yeah, more or less 40% or 45% of the population in Malaysia are non-Muslim. So we have to wake them up. We have to go further in order to make them understand that this particular problem is not only the problem faced by the Muslim, it is an apartheid issue. This is the issue of humanity, and then this is the issue of injustice, immoral. We have to be hand in hand to fight against any type of those problem that we are facing. With that, terima kasih. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Prof. Kamruzaman, there are questions there that I would like to have your feedback in 2 or 3 minutes in a short. What is your view on the threats made by Israel toward Malaysia? With the recent one, the plane that being claimed that coming to our airspace, and then also despite of difficulty and hardships, Hamas managed to secure fund and then also launch an attack using a rocket to Israel. So any idea where this fund coming from? So this is particular question within 2 or 3 minutes, Prof.
Okay, the second question related to the queries. Where did these Hamas people manage to get all of those equipment? I still remember during the time of Morsi, when Morsi took place the power in Egypt, in Libya, that is border to Egypt, there was a very big factory of weapons, owned by the Iranian group or Iranian government, under the leadership of Qasem Soleimani. If some of you still remember, he died 3 years ago. It was from that particular factory, from my knowledge, that brought all of those equipment to the Gaza Strip, through this tunnel that Dr. Ibrahim mentioned, through this tunnel. And then it was there from 2013 until now. This is one group. The second is some of the equipment or some of the ingredients to prepare this equipment has been sent. I'm not sure from where, but it is mentioned by Ismail Haniyeh. If you hear properly, Ismail Haniyeh mentioned in a very brief way that he thanked Egypt. He cannot run away from Egypt for whatever reason. You know why? Because of Egypt is the only way to come out and to go in to Gaza. He thanked Egypt, he thanked Iran, and he thanked also Qatar. Because Qatar, I believe, used to send money about 350 million US dollar. That's why Kuwait now try to compete with Qatar, promising to give about 500 million to rebuild the whole Gaza. Hopefully all of these promises, Dr. Ibrahim, they will keep all of those promises, not like the same as what the Jews did during the time of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We believe in that because they are Muslim. So from that particular point, we also have to remember one of the PhD student, Batash, was killed in Kuala Lumpur, not far from IIUM Gombak, in 2018, April or May 2018. So those people who used to come and learn something, not only from Malaysia, all over the world. This is the good things about the Palestinian people. After they finish their study, not many of them will stay around. They will go back and then helping their people, under the name of the Muslim, and then their brothers and sisters to continue their jihad, any type of jihad that they want to, do it. So this is for the second question. We believe that they're still having some help, from one way or another. But we, as a Malaysian, we have to be very careful, not to be involved in that. Even my son also, who are already, he is already there in Gaza. We keep telling him, please don't involve yourself in this particular type of jihad. It is better to get involved to help people because they had a lot of money, Dr. Ibrahim. Yeah, now they receive altogether about 30 million Malaysian ringgit. Wow, very rich and very good. I always telling him, please, continue your support, your help, for the humanitarian aids. This is the best. Let the rest, do some other job. This is the real meaning of amal jama'i. Not every people must go, but some of them have to stay some other time. How about this, the first question, Dr. Muhammad? Sorry, I'm getting old now. I cannot remember the first question.
The threats made by the Israel toward Malaysia with the plane on our airspace.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the question is very difficult question. The best one to answer is a Minister of Foreign Affairs. Datuk Seri Hishamuddin. He already mentioned in his media. In his media when he mentioned clearly that it is not really first related to any army or security movement. They are only on their way to Singapore. As a very good country. We don't have any problem with that. This is from my understanding. But it is again, for the sake of our safety and security, it is again, the responsibility of the NGOs and responsibility also to the opposition. This is the time, to ask the government, what happened, and then how much, to what extent that this particular movement from the Israelis, plane, we will give an impact, positive or negative impact. Or we can also ask the government whether this particular movement is already some sort of the starting points, of a further relationship, which is, I'm pretty sure this is not right, because of the Malaysian government already clearly emphasized that there will be no diplomatic relation, and then we also forcing the Israelis to accept the two-state solution stated or proposed by the Hamas on the establishment of the new Palestine state, before the 1967 border. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Prof. Kamruzaman. And then we go to the last speakers for the forumers for today, our panelists for today. If we look on our discussions that are going on about the 1.5 hours, Dr. Amin. If we look at the Quran, say that وَلَنْ تَرْضَى عَنْكَ الْيَهُودُ وَلَنْ نَصَارَى حَتَّى تَتَّبِعَ مِلَّتَهُمْ قُلْ إِنَّ هُدَى اللَّهِ هُوَ الْهُدَى. So in this particular ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describe the characters of the Yahud and Nasara, that they will engage everybody to follow themselves. And then when the people are not following them, are resistant towards them, there will be a very tight relationships, very stressed relationship. And then when we look around, when the situation current days, for example, the 11 days of wars, for example, happenings, and then we observe that the whole world, including the non-Muslims, they are openly gather, and then they are show their moral supports toward Palestinians, and then we can see this particular surrounding us. when I look at that particular situations, why actually the non-Muslims also want the war to stop, to able the Palestinians to live together in the land of the Palestinians, and then it's some sort like the people are trying themselves to express their supporting, including the non-Muslim. Why is that so happen? Dr. Amin, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim, and thank you very much to my fellow panelists, Professor Dr. Kamaruzaman and Professor Dr. Ibrahim Sugar, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that we listened to both comments and nicely wrap up by Professor Kamaruzaman and Professor Ibrahim Sugar, and some of the questions or the concern that the moderator asked or raised today have been addressed by them. And yep, there are more supports, more concerns, and also more commitment from people around the world, not only among the Muslims, but even some more non-Muslims from the organizations, even like Irish government, that it is the voice of the parliament that they condemn the what they call it the de facto annexation of Palestine land by the Israeli regime, and these have been discussed and agreed by the cross parties in Irish Parliament. Although the motion have been raised by the opposition parties in party in Ireland, but then they have been agreed by members of the Parliament across parties to condemn the aggression and also what they call the de facto annexation of Palestine land by the Israeli regime. And historically, Ireland put a good example, especially in fighting against the apartheid in South Africa, which is unfortunately the apartheid in South Africa almost the same, even worse, in the case of the Israeli regime, and started accidentally in 1948. The same kind of apartheid in South Africa and the same apartheid of Israeli regime. But unfortunately, people or the world didn't respond to the appetite in the Israeli regime, but yeah, for whatever reasons that they have. So yep, it's maybe some may argue it is a late action, but to me is still better late than never. And we can see the world media also, if before this they attempt to support Israeli regime due to the reason of safety reason, to defend their territory and so on. But some of them, I will not say all, some of them, even like New York Times reported in their front page the list of all the children killed in Gaza attacks. Okay, that altogether like 67 children, and mentioned that they were just children. So this basically the awareness and some of the world and also the countries that shifted their paradigm from compromising or to a certain extent supporting Israeli regime, that they now started to voice out their stand, which is to help the Palestinians based on whatever reason that they have, some are based on humanity, some try to fight against injustices, some try to fight for the freedom of Palestine, and so on. So with this overwhelmed support, I believe that this will help. And of course, as Muslims or even Gaza people, Palestine people, they will welcome any kind of support. Okay, we also need to learn from the history when this kind of oppression is not the first time. If we look into even the first liberation of Baitul Maqdis, the first liberation of Palestine by Umar al-Khattab. So basically, Sayyidina Umar faced with the big military might of Byzantines. Okay, and during the time of Salahuddin, Salahuddin al-Ayyubi also faced with the military might of the Crusaders. So basically, this idea not only been shared by the Muslims, by the Muslim historians, but recently I heard myself, I listened to the discussion led by Professor Haim Brishi-Zabner. He's a Jewish scholar, a prominent Jewish scholar. Not only Jewish, but also he used to serve for IDF. Okay, but then he with some of Jewish colleagues, Jewish scholars, started to or initiated to lead the campaign against Zionism. They are still Jewish, but they will fight against the brutalities of Zionism. They will fight against the oppression. They will fight against the injustices. Okay, and to be perfectly honest, for the Muslims, yes, we need to welcome and work together with them. Okay, because as been discussed earlier, it is not about they are Jewish people, then we go against them, but their action matter most, because what they did is oppression, persecution, killings, and so on. And they try to portray the image of the religious Zionists, although it is actually the political movement of Zionism. So basically, we even historically proven that Muslims, Christians, and the Jewish people can live side by side peacefully, not only for 10 years, not only for 20 years, but more than 1,000 years. You look at the map of the old city of Baitul Maqdis, you will see there is a Jewish quarter. This is not new. This is from the time of Muslim rulings on Palestine, on Baitul Maqdis. Okay, so basically, for those who want to share the vision to liberate Baitul Maqdis, to liberate Palestine, to free Palestine, then we will welcome them. By the way, guys, we need to also be aware that historically teach us that the strength to face or to deal to fight against these injustices, the Israeli regime, and so on, the oppressors should come from the Muslim first. Okay, Muslim need to lead. We cannot rely on others. We cannot rely on others. For example, we simply rely on the US to solve this problem. We'll never solve. We need to work together. We need to unite ourselves. We need to work together, to work hand in hand. The Muslims need to unite first. Okay, and then we can also welcome other supports. The supports from the non-Muslims, or from the non-Muslim governments, or from non-Muslim NGOs. We welcome them. okay, with the vision towards liberation of Palestine, to save Palestinians' life, to ensure that no more appetite, okay, and as I mentioned earlier about Prof. Haim, he mentioned that the crux of the problem is IDF. The crux of the problem, the core of the problem, if I can make the same analogy, the core of the problem during the time of Saladin is the Crusaders, not the whole Christians. Okay, the crux of the problem during the time of Sayyidina Umar was the Byzantines, the Byzantine oppressors, and the crux of the problem at the moment is the IDF. So the world need to work together to ensure that we will unite to oppress them. Even Prof. Haim mentioned, as been mentioned, like Prof. Kamar Zaman mentioned earlier, that the world can stand together to oppress the apartheid regime in South Africa. So why shouldn't us work together and believe that not only this issue can be dealt like that is not necessary that everybody need to come with armed kind of resistance, but we can do the political political pressure. We can initiate political pressure, economic pressure, and so on to ensure one day the military might of IDF that unfortunately supported by the US especially and their alliances will toe the line, will eventually will give the rights, or they will admit their mistake, their problems, and so on. And I believe that the world will succeed, provided that we will work together, not only having a discussion like this, but we need some kind of action. If we can contribute financially, then please contribute. If we can contribute from education point of view, then try to educate people. If we can motivate people to increase their awareness, then we need to do something. Okay, so hopefully we will be part of the whole world community to work together to save Palestine, to free Palestine, and of course to defeat the Israeli regime. Okay, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention and also for your commitment towards the end of this session. And my apology for any shortcomings, if there is any kind of shortcomings or wrongdoings or anything, that hopefully we will continue this kind of efforts towards preparing ourselves, that hopefully we will be part of those who will contribute something towards the liberation of Palestine, inshallah. Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad. Thank you very much to organizing committee, and thank you very much, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamu warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to thank everybody, especially for our panelists today that has shared the views and knowledge and the facts for us so that we can enrich our knowledge, enrich our understanding that later will determine our action, what we're going to do later. So this is a good start for TC. TC is not Teluk Cempedak, Dr. Amin. TC is TISI. TC is not Teluk Cempedak, it's TISI, Taman Insan Sejahtera, IUM Kuantan. So, and then also I would like to thank also the Campus Director's Office, Academic Support, for allowing me to be a moderator for today forums. And then I would like to congratulate all the committee that able us to conduct our forum today. And then without further ado, I'll pass to Azlan as our MC for today. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, thank you to the moderator and panelists for the wonderful session. I would like to invite everyone to open their front camera for a little photography session. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, before we end our program, I would like to once again thank you all for your participation in today's webinar program. We end our program with Tasbih Kafarah and Surah Al-As. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much all.
Jumpa lagi.
Inshallah.
Face to face.
Inshallah. Stay safe, everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim Soga.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Zaliha, and also our Prof. Samsul for very good starting, I think. Dr. Samsul, you are still there?
No more. He left.
You already left, huh?
Congratulations.
Yeah, good starting.
Yeah. Azlan, we now grooming him.
Yeah, you start to think for the next session. Eh?
Exactly. You can pass him your topic.
Yeah, topic is should be more specific. Maybe today is very general.
Specific and also current issue. Thank you so much. See you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good job.